The future of the NBA was already looking bright, but after the most recent college season and with the NBA draft happening a little over a week ago from the time of this recording, the NBA's future is arguably the brightest it's ever been, at least the brightest we've seen it in a while. With studs like Zion, Ja, and RJ ready to take next, and a forgotten top prospect with superstar potential, and Michael Porter Jr., next year's Rookie of the Year race could be one of the most exciting and closest ones we've ever seen. Michael Porter Jr. was the guy coming out of high school. Having a frame of 6'10", but being able to score everywhere on the floor gave him early comparisons to those such as Kevin Durant. During his high school tenure, he was a two-time state champion, recorded 3,400 points, and was named the 2016-17 Max Preps National Player of the Year, with a class full of guys like Marvin Bagley, Mo Bamba, and Colin Sexton, who were top of their class in high school. He had the perfect build, game, and work ethic, which showed in his senior year, to prove that he was ready for the NBA. But unfortunately got struck with an injury very early into his college season at Missouri, derailing everything Porter had in sight. However, things looked up and started looking good for Porter, as with the last pick of the lottery in the 2018 draft, the Denver Nuggets took a chance, a low-risk, high-reward scenario in which they took Porter Jr. Depending on how Porter plays alongside the Nuggets next season, that pick could very well be one of the biggest steals in NBA draft history. The Nuggets came out last season firing on all cylinders, going from the 9th seed with only 46 wins and missing the playoffs by one game the season before, to leading the Western Conference the majority of the year and finishing as the 2nd seed with 54 wins, all without their top pick in the 2018 draft in Michael Porter. If Michael Porter comes back and begins playing anywhere close to the level in which his potential is at, the Denver Nuggets could be one of the scariest young teams in the NBA. Zion Williamson, one of the most hyped up prospects we've ever seen, is an interesting case. And that's an understatement. Being picked with the number 1 pick by the Pelicans, Zion is joining a team that now has acquired plenty of pieces to be able to compete for a playoff spot in the West. Zion has a lot to prove coming into his rookie year. Not having an amazing jump shot, but being able to utilize his athleticism to his benefit on both sides of the floor helps cover up for his lack of a consistent jumper. However, with a player like Zion, for him and your team to succeed and be the best they can be, you're going to need shooting around them, which the Pelicans have, kinda. No one on the roster is an elite shooter besides that man JJ Redick who they just signed. However, the young guys the Pelicans got aren't horrendous shooters, and I'm sure just as they can, Zion can also develop a solid jumper. As of now, Zion has the best odds to win the Rookie of the Year award according to Vegas, which, it's understandable. He's going to be an immediate impact for the Pelicans, and with being so hyped up, it would be a disappointment if he didn't have the best odds going into the season. However, now with the Pelicans acquiring so much talent from the AD trade, Zion may not have the stats that RJ and Ja have due to the situation they're in. Zion will have to share the rock with much more talent, a similar problem that Porter Jr. could encounter. However, as Zion has done before, he could shock the world and prove to be a wrecking force in this league for years to come. The Ja Morant that we know today was never supposed to happen. All of the highlights of the underdog kid from Murray State would have never happened had things just gone a little different for him. Literally. In high school, Morant was unranked and was only found by Murray State when their assistant coach, James Kane, went to a vending machine at an AAU combine. While at the vending machine, Kane heard some balls bouncing in the auxiliary gym. Poking his head in, he found Ja Morant playing a 3-on-3 game. After being intrigued by his handles, what really sold Kane on Morant's game was what he did after the 3-on-3 game. It's reported that after the game finished, Morant grabbed the ball and threw down a windmill dunk with ease. The rest is history, and on draft night, Ja's dreams that seemed so far away just a few years before had come true. After the Mike Conley trade to Utah was official, Ja Morant was essentially handed the keys to Memphis as their next franchise point guard, which we all saw coming, but the Conley trade just made it official, so whatever. The Grizz have a bright future and had an amazing draft by picking up Ja and a solid player that in my opinion was slept on in this year's draft class in Brandon Clark. These two new pickups will pair nicely with Triple J, who had a really solid rookie year despite facing a right quad injury. And although Ja didn't get much media attention before this last year, there's no doubt that he has talent. Being able to score the ball while also being able to facilitate and get his teammates involved was a big factor in his hype. He's an electrifying player, and although playing a weak conference at Murray State, whenever the opportunity was given, he showed he could still get buckets on the highest level. It's crazy to think that if Murray State's assistant coach wouldn't have found Ja in the auxiliary gym, we still wouldn't know about the number 2 overall pick to this day. In my opinion, I think Ja has the potential to become a top 3 point guard in the league in his prime. The situation he's been put into is nice for him, as he will be a centerpiece alongside Jaren Jackson, and the ball will be in his hands. However, this does come with a probable issue. It may take Ja some time to get with the pace of the NBA. Young point guards usually take time to really develop and show what they're going to be. For example, De'Aaron Fox had a completely different sophomore season compared to his rookie season, jumping up in every major statistical category and even being a most improved player candidate. It usually takes time for rookie guards to adjust to the league, so on the off chance Ja doesn't come in hot, give him some time. However, I believe he'll do just fine, coming into a nice situation to help smoothen his transition. Ja has a crazy work ethic and won't stop till he gets what's his. After breaking records in college, I'm sure Ja is ready to take it to the next level. RJ Barrett, the Maple Mamba and the newest New York Knick. RJ Barrett is no doubt, without a question, the most accomplished player in this draft class. As a high school senior, RJ led Mount Verde, a powerhouse in high school hoops, to a 35-0 record, won the Geico National Championship, and was ranked number 1 in the high school national rankings. And guess who was included in his class? Studs such as Zion, Bol Bol, and Cam Reddish. But it doesn't stop there. Following his senior season, RJ went on to claim all major National Player of the Year awards. Yes, you heard me right, every single one of them. The last high school basketball player to do this was LeBron James in 2003. However, none of these accomplishments even come close to what he accomplished in the summer of 2017, in which he represented Canada in the FIBA U19 World Cup in Egypt. He went on to make history and lead Canada against the United States in an upset win, making it the first time the United States had lost a game in any age group in 6 years. Then, the next day, he won the FIBA U19 World Cup Championship. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at Duke during his freshman year, he set a new ACC freshman single-season scoring record, playing alongside 2 other 5-star recruits. RJ Barrett was destined to be great. It's written in his DNA almost, as his father played on the Canada U19 team in the 90s with RJ's future godfather, who was 2-time NBA MVP, Steve Nash. It's no doubt that RJ lives and breathes basketball. He's grown up around it, and it's the culture he was raised in. He has the build and mentality to be amazing in today's league. He's great at driving to the rack, and if he can get more confidence in his jump shot and shoot more consistently from the free throw line than he did in college, RJ will have a bright future in this league. However, sometimes RJ does display instances of tunnel vision and trying to play hero ball, but under the right coach and more mentorship, this mentality can be tightened up, and he can become smarter when the game is on the line. In my opinion, I think RJ will have a pretty good NBA career. Based on the state of the Knicks, however, and that unpredictable franchise, it was a safe pick for him in this year's draft. And it's hard to say what team accolades he'll accomplish while in the NBA, but I do see him being a consistent all-star caliber player and having a good rookie season due to the current state of his team. Now, this is all of my opinion. However, those 4 players are who I believe will be leading the Rookie of the Year race next year. I don't know in which order yet, but I do believe that next year will be one of the most competitive Rookie of the Year races we've ever seen. And it can be really hard to pick between these 4 guys. But now, of course, there's usually always one rookie that was a hidden gem and proves everyone wrong, and climbs up the ladder as one of the best rookies in their class. So comment below who you think the rookie in this year's draft class is that everyone is sleeping on. Sorry if my voice sounds weird, my sinuses are acting up, but yeah. Thanks for watching. This is my first video, so this probably wasn't the best, but I plan on growing, and I hope y'all stick along and see the journey. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. A new video will be out soon, so be sure to turn on the notifications. In my outro, I'm going to link some videos you should check out, so be sure to give those a look. My name's Hoop Sensei, and I'll catch you next time.